all, it was full of leaves. And I put my gym bag down, put my cane down, I get down and I'm rolling in the leaves, and I thought, you know, I can smell fall
Yeah.
and I can feel it. And I've often wondered if anyone was watching me. And I get up, find my gym bag, find my cane, I head home and in a lot better spirit than I was when I sat down.
You know, you also brought up a point about this new reader that they have. Apparently, the government gives it to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Well, that is a bill reader, and it determines whether ones, twos, fives, not twos, but five. Yeah, it will read a two, but a fives, tens, etc. And you just put it into the edge of the bill, into the reader, and it'll say 1, 5, 10, 20. And the reason for that is that the Treasury Department has been under a lot of pressure to help blind people. And now they are going to soon start making bills that are tactile, that will be able to feel a 5 versus a 1 versus a 20.
Sure.
But until that happens, they have these bill readers. And so the Treasury Department is giving them to blind people free of charge. And they really do help. But what a blind person should do is learn to fold his or her bills. You fold, for example, I don't fold a 1. I then fold a 5 in half. I fold a 10 twice. And I fold a 20 lengthwise and fold it over.
Oh, okay,
but,
sure.
But no two blind people fold their money the same way, but we all have ways of folding our money. And right today, Mike, I've got 5s in this pocket, 10s here, 20 in this pocket, and some 1s over here. The whole point is you need training in blind skills.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things that I had a friend who had some serious impairment in his vision, and he brought up something that you brought up in the book, which was food. Like when you sit down at a restaurant.
Yes.
And he says, like, you know, he'd have to just kind of, his smell, his sense of smell was trained enough where he could say, okay, I have potatoes here, I know that for sure. But that comes into training as well.
And you do with the feel of the knife and the fork, you know, where everything is. Because we don't like people saying, now the peas are at 2 o'clock and the potatoes are at 3 and so forth. You don't have to do that. Just allow a blind person to feel around and they'll find out where it is.
Art, I have to ask you, when people read Out of Sight, Blind and Doing All Right, what do you want them to take away from this book?
The fact that blindness is not the end of the world, as I make a speech called There Is Life After Blindness, because I know it's devastating. I was devastated. I was angry. I thought life was over. But if you come to grips, I liken blindness to, and some in the blind community don't like me to say this, but I liken it to drug abuse and alcoholism. If you're an alcoholic, no matter how many people say to you, you need help, you have to say to yourself, I need help.
Yeah, sure.
Blindness is the same way. You have to come to grips with your blindness. We love to be in denial, especially seniors who are losing sight. And the same with hearing. You know, you know people who say, I'm doing fine, I can hear, and then they say, what?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to admit they're losing hearing or losing sight. But you have to come to grips with it. And once you do, then you got to get help. And once you do that, life becomes wonderful again, and you discover that you can cook, that you can go out, take a bus, go with friends, go out, and enjoy life. I don't have to, Mike, I can't see you at all, and I'm sorry about that because I know how handsome you are. But I can't see anything. But that doesn't matter. We're sitting here having a conversation, and I have learned to come to grips with blindness, and then I do something about it. And I hope that for those who read the book, they pass it on to someone that needs that help, or that's what the book accomplishes. And also I hope that the book helps the National Federation of the Blind, because the NFB absolutely turned my life around. That man, David Tiki, told me, when you get back to New Mexico, get in touch with Fred Schroeder. He's the best white cane travel guy in the country. He was the president of the National Federation of the Blind of New Mexico. I did get in touch with Fred Schroeder, and the NFB absolutely turned my life around.
Well, this book is turning a lot of lives around too, and I'll tell you what, I've read it twice already, and it's wonderful, and I know I'm going to be reading it again. I know I'm going to be recommending it to a lot of people as well. Sadly, our time is up, and I've just spent an hour of my life with a truly remarkable man named Art Schreiber, the author of Out of Sight, Blind and Doing All Right. If I had a tenth of your career, I'd be able to sit back and say, wow, what a life. And you can look back and say an amazing life as well. Thank you so much, Art.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I look forward to your next book.
Good luck.
Art Schreiber.